What's going on, hockey hysterics? Now we know people in the NHL who have the superstar power, we know the enforcers, we know the grinders, we know the playmakers, but there's also people in a different category of their own, the people we seem to forget. These are the top 10 players who we seem to forget who played in the NHL. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button for more awesome hockey content. Number 10, Derek Roy. Drafted in 2003, Derek Roy was a small but hard-working player. Being 5'9" means he had his work cut out for him, and for a while he performed well against taller and bigger players. He was with the Buffalo Sabres during their solid run in 2007. He actually ended the season with 81 points, but from that year on, his numbers progressively got worse. His last season in the NHL was with Edmonton in 2014-15. He since then has played in the Swiss A, KHL, SHL, and even for Team Canada in the Olympics. And if it wasn't for Team Canada in the Olympics, he would have been forgot about entirely. Number 9, Nathan Horton. Currently under contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs, some wouldn't even know he was still technically in the NHL. Horton hasn't played a game since the 2013-14 season because of back injuries. It's hard to say if Horton will ever come back in the NHL, but it's more likely his career has been ended short. Number 8, David Clarkson. David Clarkson is actually the reason why Nathan Horton is on the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs traded Clarkson in the 2014-15 season, and Clarkson's story is pretty similar to Horton's as his career has been halted to an injury. The Golden Knights ended up taking Clarkson's contract from the Columbus Blue Jackets in the expansion draft. The trade of Clarkson also included a 2017 first round pick and a 2019 second round pick. This made Columbus able to protect another player in the draft, but Vegas eventually chose Karlsson anyways, which was a pretty good deal for Vegas. Number 7, Dave Bolland. Now it's a little funny because the past 3 players have been a part of the Maple Leafs organization. Dave Bolland left the Leafs to play with the Florida Panthers in 2014. Since then, he's only played 78 games. He was traded to Arizona in 2016, where he hasn't even played a game and has been virtually forgotten. Number 6, Alexander Semin. Semin was once a young rising star in the NHL. He played on Washington with his countryman Alex Ovechkin, and the two were a dynamic duo. In the 2009-10 season, Semin posted a career high with 84 points. But that was the end of his stardom, posting no more than 54 points for the remaining seasons. Semin played 15 games for the Montreal Canadiens in 2015-16, then he hopped on a plane to the KHL where he is today. Number 5, Mike Ribeiro. Ribeiro is an interesting case in the NHL, because it seems he only abides by one schedule, his own. The Montreal native played his last game in 2017, I guess. He never really came out and said he was retiring, he just simply stopped training and eventually just stopped playing. His agent hasn't really heard from him, and he is assuming that he's actually just retired. Now, if you just abandon the sport in general, it's pretty easy to forget you. Number 4, Cody Hodgson. Hodgson was supposed to be an all-star with the Vancouver Canucks. Unfortunately, he never really found his stride in the NHL. He was out of the NHL after playing 7 seasons, which is really unfortunate for a 10th overall pick. Being that place in the draft, I'm sure the Canucks were expecting a little bit more out of him. Number 3, Maxim Afinogenov. The once Buffalo Sabres young star forward is now far gone from our minds. His final season in the NHL was with the Atlanta Thrashers in 2009-10. And like the Thrashers, he is gone from the NHL. Since that season, he's been playing in the KHL, and he never seemed to want to come back to the NHL either. Well, that's what happens when you play with the Atlanta Thrashers. Number 2, Mike Richards. The ex-captain of the Philadelphia Flyers had a chance to have a great future with the team. But once again, you see something that's supposed to be great turn into a disaster. Richards played 6 seasons with the Flyers before they moved him to the LA Kings. Richards was hoping to rejuvenate his career with the team, especially seeing as they had Jeff Carter, his ex-teammate. But Richards still couldn't perform, getting a high of 44 points with the Kings. His final year was with the Washington Capitals in 2015-16, and no one has really heard from him since. All we know is that he wants to make a return, but no one's really biting on that chance. Tough break for him. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here's some other considerations. Number 1, Matt Moulson. Matt Moulson is a guy you really could feel bad for. He was a hard-working player who was tough to play against. Apparently that wasn't enough for the Sabres organization though. After not registering a point with the Sabres in 14 games this year, Buffalo sent him down to the AHL where he's been buried ever since. It's sad, but the chances of Molson getting another shot in the NHL with the Sabres is looking slim. So what do you guys think of these selections? Let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, and if you really liked the video, smash that like button so I know you liked it. Alright, you guys, have a great day.